Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Pretty Lonesome. This week I am sat just off the Pacific Coast Highway, which is what's behind me, and I'm looking at the beach. You can't see the beach because then the light would be bad, but I'm in my new truck. I'm in the Ford F-250, and I did not drive it to the Pacific Coast Highway. I still can't drive it, but guess what? This morning, guess where I went? I went to the fucking DMV, which is so the most American thing that I could possibly imagine. And I remember being I used to watch like teenagers getting their like driver's license vlogs, and for some reason these were like crack to me. I used to be really obsessed with people going and adopting animal vlogs, people getting their driver's license vlogs, and house moving vlogs. Like this was like crack. And also for some reason period advice videos. That was like my thing when I was 14. I used to watch them obsessively. I don't really know why, but so I know what the fucking DMV looks like. And apparently a lot of the government buildings in America are identical to each other, because I've seen that exact DMV 5,000 times on YouTube, but it must just be that they all look the same. Because when I walked in, I felt like I was meeting a celebrity, because they had those computer screens at those like standing desks, and it was literally like, and then just like rows of metal chairs, and like it was so fun. The guy at the desk when I was like doing the paperwork before the test was so fun, and he was talking about the Yankees game, and he literally like the whole vibe was just like every American Office TV show I've ever seen in my life. It was very interesting because everyone at the desk that was working at the DMV, and I feel like this is a unique experience, they were talking to each other and they were laughing and they were cracking jokes about the Yankees and about their girlfriends and about, I don't even know, they were just talking and it was fun, and they were playing Taylor Swift over the speakers, and I was like, why would anyone live in Crawley? You know what I mean? Why was I doing that? So, not that I live in Crawley, it's just the only place I can name without giving away my location. I love Crawley, actually. No shade, it's got a great Cineworld, and it has TGI Fridays, which is rare in the UK. Crawley is the only place that I've ever seen in the UK, in the south of England, that resembles America. And then once you get like past the Midlands and you go up north, it's basically just like scary America, like new build stuff. Like they have fucking Dunkin' Donuts up there. Did you guys know that? If you've never been to the north of England, they've got Dunkin', they've got Taco Bell, they've got like Chick-fil-A, I'm pretty sure. Crazy. Anyways, so I went to the DMV and I had to take my driver's permit test, because now that I'm here on like a different visa, they just won't let me drive. Usually if you're a tourist in the US, you can just get a rental car. Well, I can actually get a rental car, but I just can't drive my own car because I own this truck, and I can't drive it unless I have like a proper American license, which is so fucking annoying. Anyways, I went to the DMV, I got my license. I had a very teenage morning. Like I feel like a child today. I woke up really early. I got picked up to go to the fucking DMV, and then I had a DMV escort, which was insane, and he just basically like let me jump the line. I really felt like a child traveling alone. Like I had a DMV escort who stayed with me the whole time, and he took me to the desk, got me checked in, and then I went and took my test. And I had been studying for it, but I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit overconfident, because I was like, I've been driving for 6 years. Like, I know this stuff, and even if I don't know the exact answer, common sense. Like, why would I not know the rules of the road? Like, America's similar enough to the UK. And then I got in there, and I did study, and I was a bit nervous once I started studying, because I was like, okay, I actually don't know this stuff. It's just like, the lines in the road, they're different. Duh, it's a different country, I don't know. But I was like, I'm sure it's common sense. It turns out it's actually not. It's actually extremely important, and it's specific information that changes by the country you're in. Who would have fucking thought? Maybe there's like a reason they make you take the driver's test once you come to America. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because their roads are fucking different. You idiot. Anyway, I went to the DMV and I took the theory test, and I failed it. But the good news is, the guy escorting me, Anthony, he said you can retake it 3 times, but if you fail all 3 times, then you will have to reapply for the whole thing, and like that costs money and time and stuff. And I was like, okay. He was like, you want to retake it? And I was like, oh, is it going to be long? Like, I thought we were going to have to queue up again and like do the whole paperwork thing again. But I was like, let me actually just fucking retake it while I'm here, because it was like a 50-minute drive. Anyway, long story short, Anthony's like, okay, turn around. I was like, what? I literally do a spin back to my test-taking computer, and he presses like restart, and I was like, oh, it's that easy. So thank fucking God I stayed, because then I passed my knowledge test. Yes, I did. It was because I kept getting the numbers wrong. Like, they asked me what the blood alcohol volume you can drive with is, and I was like, I don't know, 1 shot of vodka, I would say. Like, for me personally, like a half a glass of wine is about my limit. officer. I don't know. Like, fuck, what is the blood alcohol level that I can drive with? Anyway, I put 0.4% because I thought, or 0.04% because I thought that's way too much. Turns out it's 0.08%, so maybe I'll have 2 shots of vodka next time. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Literally joking. That's not funny. I passed my driver's license, so now I have a permit, which means I can drive on my UK license for 1 year with the permit. But I didn't drive this car yet because I still don't have insurance, so my friend drove it. For the car's first outing, she did a good job. Actually, we learned that the fuel gauge doesn't work, and the speedometer doesn't work, and the temperature gauge doesn't work. And then we saw that the car has 600,000 miles on it, which is not ideal, but it's part of her charm, I suppose. I guess it's from 1969. Like, it's gonna rack up the miles, I guess. Like, whoever had this before me obviously used it. Anyway, I was watching last week's episode of Pretty Lonesome today because it got edited, and then I watched the edited version. In the episode, I was like talking about integrity of character and stuff, and I was like, she has a good point. By the way, whenever I film a podcast episode, I literally think I get possessed, and then I talk about stuff, and then whenever I like rewatch an episode, I'm like, how did I know about that? Like, that's so smart of me to have said that. I don't even think I knew that. I'm like, wow, look at me go, like, with my thoughts. Anyway, so I learned a lot from that bitch, and she was talking about integrity of character and how, like, it's she's like learning to be like in one place without letting it change her, but also the fact that she even cares to not let a place change her is significant, or like it's a signifier of the fact that she actually for the first time ever doesn't completely hate herself, which is like revolutionary for her. And I was like, kind of sad, but congratulations to her as well. Anyway, I was watching that and I was like, so interesting that I don't fucking hate myself, because I actually deeped it and I was like, wow, my life has changed in quality so much because I don't hate myself. Like, just that fact alone, I'm like, things really are different now. And I feel like I have been waking up excited to just like exist, which is genuinely a new experience for me. And it's not because I'm in LA, it's just because, well, you know what, it's not because I'm in LA, it's because there's fucking sun. It's seasonal depression went away, but it's also because of the changes that I've made over the last few months, like I said in last week's episode. I'm just recapping. I'm like mind blown. I'm like, wow, she said she's happy. Congratulations to her. Do you guys want to know something that someone told me this week that's insane? So obviously I've like talked a lot about the fact that I have fucking acne. It's not news to anyone. And it's all like just the lower part of my face, and like here as well. It's like my chin and my mouth area, which is my least favorite area to have acne. Like, could you not go to my forehead or something? I don't know. Every area is annoying, but I've had it for like a year or two now, and it's weird because I just never had acne before. Like, I had it when I was like 14, 15, and then it went away. And then it came back when I was like 20, and now I still just have it, and I'm like, what? So my friend, she was like, whenever you like next to her in LA, you should use this facialist. And I was like, well, I'm in LA right now, what's her name? And so she sent me her. She ended up putting us in touch, and I sent the woman pictures of my skin because she asked to see, and I was like, okay, this is the acne, and I sent her a picture, and she was like, oh, that doesn't look hormonal to me. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, it just doesn't usually, like, the spots themselves wouldn't, like, I guess she just knows. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. She's like, the spots just don't look like hormonal acne spots. And she wasn't saying, like, the location of my face, because I always thought that, like, the lower half of the face was hormonal. So the actual acne just doesn't look hormonal, whatever the fuck that means. And she was like, it's probably because you're using products that are too rich for your face. Now, I cast my mind back in time. The date I got acne, like that period of my life, I had changed 2 things. I had changed something about my hormones, and I had started to wash my face. Now, I know it sounds gross to say, like, oh, before that I never washed my face, but I'm actually gonna be so honest with you. I never fucking washed my face. I literally was at university, and, like, I barely did skincare. Like, I didn't have dry skin. I didn't have oily skin, really. Like, I just had skin that never caused me a problem. I never had acne. I never had, like, pigmentation. Like, my skin was perfect. Like, for lack of better wording, and to literally not trying to hype myself up, it was perfect. Like, it was so clear. The only issue I ever had in my face was I had, like, these little veins around my nose. But apparently they're burst capillaries, and it's not even a skin issue. It's just, like, blood. I don't know. Anyway, I changed something with my hormones, and then I started to wash my face and moisturize my skin. And I started slow. I started very basic, washing my face, moisturizing it, and I didn't really have any skin issues. I was like using CeraVe, whatever. And then I upped the stakes because I started to get like PR stuff sent to me, and like then I would start to use fucking exfoliants and like fancy moisturizers and fancy face washes, and then I started to shoot and get my makeup done by all these different people, and like my life just changed. Like, this, my face, my skin like, everything changed because suddenly I had all these different things on it all the time. And I was like, whoa. So all this time I was like, yes, I had a hormonal change around that point in my life. I'm looking back now and I'm like, no, that's when I started to wash my fucking face. So maybe I just have to stop washing my face. Maybe that's the solution. And it's actually weird because if this has been the problem, that like I've been putting too much on my skin and it's just not meant for me, I'll be so pissed off. I'll be so pissed off at all the facialists I've been to have been like, you need 7 of my products. Everyone that I've seen that's been like, yeah, you should use like this, and this. I will find each and every one of you and I will kill you. Sorry, that's not nice. I won't do that. There is such an attractive man over there. I'm like, that's insane. And he's just on the side of the street. Like, I feel like it's very rare to see extremely attractive people just wandering around. Because, like by your early 20s, if you're, like, hot, like that kind of hot that I'm looking at over there, I feel like it's only natural. You work in a role because that's how fucking hot you are. Like, that's, like, a model, you know? Like, your face is, like, you're so hot that you look like an alien. It's hard to find them roaming, you know? By this point, they're, like, kind of plucked away and they're, I don't know, in Paris. But there's one right there. We caught a wild one, girls. Anyway, I'm gonna be pissed if my skin issues have always just been because I've been putting stuff on my face and then trying to resolve the skin issues those products give me by putting more stuff on my face. So just as a tester, I've started washing my face once a day. So I take my makeup off at night, wash it at night. I started using a really simple moisturizer and not doing anything else to my face. And then in the morning, I haven't been washing it. I've been wiping it with like a wet cotton bud with Evian water because I've heard the water in LA is not the best. And then also I want to keep the pH consistent because I'm crazy. I want to keep the pH consistent because it's important, I think. Anyway, lol, my sister just texted me, my big sister, she texted me, where do you live? Sorry, forgot to tell ya. It's really bad, like it's chronically bad how much I do not keep my family in the loop. I love my family so much, like we're consistent in each other's lives, like we all speak, none of us have like beef or anything, and then I get texts like this, where do you live? Sorry, I moved to the other side of the world and I literally forgot to fucking tell you. I never told her that I found somewhere to like be, and I guess I just kind of forgot to tell her. Oh, I feel bad. Anyway, being in LA so far it's interesting. I have been so busy that I haven't even seen any of my like friends yet, which makes me sad because I like the people that I know here. It's just like, it would just be nice to see like a familiar face. I think I really need to see someone that I've seen before, because every single person that I've seen since I landed here, I've never seen their face before I landed. And like, I may have worked with them before, like talked to them on text, but like, I don't know if you guys have ever felt this. If you've ever gone somewhere that's very far away from your home and you've gone alone and you've stayed for an extended period of time or even a short period of time, because I felt this the first time I ever went anywhere by myself that was abroad. There is like a fatigue you feel by not seeing someone that is like recognizable. And I don't know what it is. It's probably like a genuine like psychological thing, but like it doesn't mean that I'm like not comfortable around the people I'm around. It literally feels like my eyeballs are tired. I'm like, I need to see something that I recognize before I lose my mind. And it's actually kind of a scary feeling. If I tune into the feeling, I get like uncomfortable and I'm like, let me ignore that. The first time I ever went anywhere by myself, I was 17 and I went to South Africa and I worked at this like rehab center for monkeys, not humans, obviously. And I was not equipped for that at 17, but yeah, it was like a volunteer project and it was really fun, but I remember freaking the fuck out. Like, I got to that airport, or I think I stopped over in like Doha or something, and that was like fucking 9 hours into the trip, and I was freaking out. I was like, I need to see someone that I know, and that was obviously like quite an intense thing to feel at 9 hours, but it was my first time, and it's taken me a while to get to that feeling again this time. I've been here for like maybe a week and a half now, and I'm like, I'm enjoying it and everything is good, but like, I really would love to see a familiar face. But then I'm like, if I even see someone that's familiar to me, will it help? Because like, who am I gonna see? Like, who am I gonna see that I know? Like, everyone that I know in LA, I've met 3 times ever, and I love them, but the familiarity aspect is maybe not strong enough to relieve the feeling that I have. But my mummy's coming on Thanksgiving, which is random. She didn't mean to do that. It's just like the flights were cheaper that day, and we were like, why are they so cheap on the 28th? Book it. And then someone was like, that's Thanksgiving. She's flying on Thanksgiving? I was like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna make her a turkey. What is Thanksgiving? I don't know. Am I gonna eat turkey on it? Maybe. I'm definitely going to cook a turkey on it. Whether or not that turkey will be consumed by anyone is. Well, we'll find out. But my mum's coming, so that relieves everything. I just have to wait for her to get here. I feel like I am kind of waiting for my mum to get here because then I get to go home. And I don't want to go home. It's just like, it'll be nice. Like, I feel like it's a big stress reliever knowing I'm going home so soon. I'm like, okay, everything's fine. Even if I'm stressed, even if I'm homesick, like, I really, bitch, like, enjoy yourself because this is just a holiday. Ew. I'm sweating so much that my hands have done that thing, like, when you go in the bath. That's insane. Sorry. By the time this episode comes out, I will be in New York. Like, the week or the day this episode comes out, I will be in New York. And I'm gonna see my friend in New York, my friend from London. And I'm so excited because New York is basically London, kind of. I personally prefer London because it's London. But New York is way fucking cooler. It's prettier, I would say. Well, parts of it, definitely. And I like that it's bigger. Because the one thing that does bug me about London is it's not that big. I actually don't know which one's bigger. I'm going to go to New York with my friend, which is nice because that homesickness will dissipate when I see her because she is actually a familiar face. But it's been so weird. Like, I get homesick. Like, no. Like, it's insane. Like, for someone who doesn't even care that much about being at home, or like, I love going on trips and like I never get homesick when I'm on a trip. This time around, like being in LA, I've been so homesick that it's been genuinely weird. Like, I would phone my enemy at this point. I would phone my enemy just to be like, I miss you. Like, I'm gonna call up the girl that bullied me in secondary school and ask her if she wants to chat because I'm homesick. Like, the daytimes are fine and then it gets to nighttime and I'm like, no. Anyway, I'm going to my first Halloween party tomorrow night. And I'm so scared. Oh, fuck. Do you guys want to know what my outfit is? Because I'm so proud of myself. It'll already have been, like, done and dusted by the time anyone sees this episode. So I can tell you, no one's going to steal my idea. But it's Alex Earl's party. And her party is Alice in Wonderland themed. And when I saw that, I was like, bitch, there's, like, 5 fucking characters in that movie. Like, realistically, what am I going to come as? And, like, everyone's going to be dressed the same. So I was panicking. And I was like, every outfit option is taken. Because obviously, like, everyone's going to be, like, the Queen of Hearts. And then, like, there's going to be Tweedledum and Tweedledee or whatever the fuck it's called. And, like, there's going to be the Caterpillar and that's going to be taken. And, like, I was like, fuck, I don't have any creative ideas for Alice in Wonderland. And then I was like, well, what if I just went as Alex? I got a hairstylist and I got him to order me a blonde wig. And then I tried to get Patrick Tar to come and do my makeup, but he's out of town, so he couldn't do it. Fully dressed as her. I've ordered Dolphins merch, and it's actually really fucking cute merch. I ordered ripped blue jean shorts, and I ordered a push-up bra. I don't know what else to do about that section of the outfit. I don't have the facilities, but we'll try our best. And then, not that Alex wears push-up bras, I have to wear a push-up bra to have any semblance of her tits. But you won't be able to see them anyway underneath the Dolphins thing, so it's fine. But then I'm gonna wear, like, knee-high boots with it, I think. But then I'm like, that's kind of ugly. Like, high-waisted denim jean shorts with fucking knee-high boots. I think that would just be, like, an insult to Alex. So I'm gonna have to do some research, actually, tonight about what the fuck she usually wears when she wears those denim shorts. I'm so excited. I hope it looks good. I hope it reads well. I feel like the Dolphins merch is unmistakable, you know? Like, why else would I be wearing that? I'm excited. I'm gonna be so fucking angry if there is another Alex Earl at this party. I mean, other than the real one, of course. But, like, if someone else has taken that idea, I feel genuinely entitled to that idea, okay? If there is another bitch at that party who thought that she could go as Alex Earl, no, that's my intellectual property. You can't have that. You got inside my fucking brain and you took it. And that's not fair. Anyway, I'm gonna have fun cosplaying as Alex Earl. And then I have another party the next night, which I don't know what I'm gonna go as. And in fact, there's a high chance that we won't be showing up because, like, I have to be excited about something to force myself out the house. And the way to get me excited is to have a cute outfit planned. And I don't have a cute outfit planned. I don't even have a horrible outfit planned. I don't have anything planned. So now I'm in trouble. And now I think, I might take a conveniently timed nap and sleep through the entire event. And then apologize profusely. Ask for forgiveness, not permission, when you want to skip an event. That's my stance. They'll never forgive you, but they'll also never give you permission not to come. So it's like, well, I, the other day, got this urge to watch Cheaper by the Dozen too, because it is my favorite. I don't want to say it's my favorite movie, because that's something I would really have to stand by, and I haven't really picked a favorite yet, and it goes between, like, Cheaper by the Dozen, Devil Wears Prada, then, and obviously B-Movie. If you've been here since I used to talk about fucking B-Movie, that's insane. Like, I feel like no one really appreciates anymore how much I love the B-Movie. I don't want to claim a favorite movie is the point, because I would feel like I have to stick by that, and I'm not gonna. So it's one of my top 3 or 5. Point being, I got the urge to watch it, which is rare. Like, usually an urge will brew with me about a movie. I'll be like, ooh, I kind of want to watch this, and then urge brews over like maybe a week or a month until it's finally like loud enough that I sit down and watch the movie. But this time it was like the morning I woke up, I was like, I want to watch Cheaper by the Dozen, and I looked forward to it all day, and then I sat down in the evening and I watched Cheaper by the Dozen 2, which is the best one out of both the movies. Actually, no, I like them both. I like Cheaper by the Dozen and Cheaper by the Dozen 2. Just disappointed there was never a Cheaper by the Dozen 3. Unless there was. And it's just not on Netflix, and I just, like, don't know about it. Guys! They dropped a fucking Cheaper by the Dozen 2022 edition. It's gonna be the worst thing I've ever seen, and it's probably gonna trigger, like, anger. It has a 4.6 stars out of 10. 7,000 ratings. There's no way. 248 reviews. Hold on, I'm gonna watch the trailer. This might be life-changing for me. Okay, well, it looks fucking terrible, and I'm gonna watch it the second I get home. I can't wait. You know what pisses me off? Okay. So you've got Cheaper by the Dozen and Cheaper by the Dozen 2. 2 fucking classic movies, very, like, reminiscent of its, like, era in, like, cinema, okay? And everyone knows that movies made in the early 2000s, especially, like, American, like, family films, like Cheaper by the Dozen and Home Alone and whatever else, are some of, like, genuinely the best movies. And for some reason, no one can replicate them. Like, I've never... And you've got Home Alone fucking 5 and 6, and they suck, and everyone knows that. And I'm like, you guys can't just do that one thing again? Who died that was, like, held the secret formula to Home Alone and Cheaper by the Dozen and fucking Devil Wears Prada? There's so many people, and there's a guy fucking rollerblading around my car, and I want them to leave. But anyway, you want to make another Cheaper by the Dozen, because you just did. And obviously you want to make money. There's no other reason to make a fucking film. You want to make money. You've put resources into it, you've put time, effort, energy, whatever. Why wouldn't you make it good? And you know the secret to success is to replicate whatever fucking formula they had in Home Alone and Cheaper by the Dozen and The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody season 1 and 2 and 3. Genuinely, I want to know what happened in, like, the back end of Hollywood for that to never be able to be done again. Because there has not been a single fucking movie since 2007 that is good. Like, and there's good ones. Like, there's movies that's great. Like Avatar. Great. But, like, you clearly want to replicate a vibe. You clearly want to retell a story that's already been told. Why would you not give it that sprinkle that those other movies have? And if anyone knows what the word is for the sprinkle of whatever the fuck it is that those other films have, please tell me. Because why is it not replicable? Why is it genuinely... How did it die? And it's a mixture of, like... Stop using those HD cameras, because everything looks shit. I also think it's something to do with the background noise. No hate. Love this show. One that springs to mind, genuinely, I love this show. I've never watched it, but I don't hate it. I'm, like, indifferent towards it. I've seen, like, 1 or 2 episodes. I don't want to come off rude, but the best example I can think, because this is why I didn't indulge in more episodes, because the storytelling is second to none. Like, it's really good, and the acting, again, second to none. But I didn't indulge in more than 1 or 2 episodes because of the fact that it had no background noise. It's Chicken Girls. Like, I tried to get into the Chicken Girls thing when I was, like, a teenager, and I just couldn't, because, again... I'm not going to say badly produced, it's just, like, produced in a certain way where there's no background noise. So when someone is saying a line, or someone's having a conversation, or someone's walking somewhere, but there's never, like, background noise and chatter, and it's, like, the ambiance is so different, and it's in all these fucking, like, they're, like, new build films. It's, like, a new build housing estate in the UK is what these films feel like to me. They just lack depth and substance and, like, the grain over the camera. And it's not even a grain, because I don't watch Home Alone and think it's bad quality. It's a difference in coloring. You can't have crispy fucking 4K HD recordings and then have, like, crispy great audio recordings as well, and, like, that doesn't make it good, you know? Like, higher quality doesn't make a fucking film good. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And that's what they've done, I think. I mean, it's hard to tell, because the trailer had, what is that, Kelly Clarkson? Is there a way to find out who? Oh, it's Zach Braff. Why do I know him? I'm not angry at this film. I'm just confused as to why no one can replicate the movies that everyone likes. There was a movie that came out recently and everyone was like, oh my god, it feels like old television, and I can't remember what the fuck it was. Also, and maybe this is just because I'm not a child and I'm not, you know, so indulged in the child actor culture, but like, as a kid, when I tell you I was fucking in love with Sarah Baker, I was in love with that bitch, and she was in Disney Sweet Life of Zack and Cody as well. And she always played the same character. She was always a tomboy. She always was like a skater girl. And that was how I realized I did not care for Zack or Cody. I wanted whatever the fuck her name was in Zack and Cody. I don't remember. You know, I watched like Hannah Montana and I was like, okay, cool. And then I would watch Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and there would be like, you know, London Tipton, and I'd be like, okay, like, she's cute. And then I would see little Sarah Baker, whatever the fuck her name was, and we were about the same age, and I was in love with her. Like, I genuinely was in love with her. And that's so funny to me because my type has never changed in women. All it takes is one backwards cap, and I'm there. I'm like a loyal fan, because I liked her in every movie she was ever in. And I feel like there was this one movie, and for some reason my mum rented it for me from Blockbusters, and so we had it for ages, and it was called Grounded, and I've never watched it since. And if you remember this movie, please comment, because fuck me, that movie was literally so transformative for me as a child. And I can't even remember if that girl was in it, Sarah Barker, whatever the fuck her name was. I was so in love with this girl from Grounded that I used to just watch it on repeat? I need to go back to London. I would watch it on repeat. Sorry. Alison Stoner is her name, apparently. Described as a sporty troublemaker. Yeah. I was in love with her, and she was really my reason for watching Cheaper by the Dozen as much as I did as a child. Also, the only reason I would ever watch Zack and Cody was to, like, just pray that she would maybe guest star. You know? Which is so funny, because when I was a kid, I really tried to have an imaginary friend. I could never make one. Like, I did not fucking want an imaginary friend, but I just thought I had to. Like, I was like cosplaying being a child. I literally was like, no, I'm gonna fucking have one. I think I named her Rebecca or something, and I kind of would just like beef her a bit because I would always go on walks. My family was a big walking family. I would be so fucking bored on the walks that I would try and make my imaginary friend hang out with me on the walks, because I thought I was meant to have her. So I'd created her in my head, like almost like the way you would make a sim, and then I would try and like force her to come and play with me, and I never found it fun. But I would like get annoyed at her because I would make her come on these walks, and I'd kind of be like hanging, like talking to her in my head, and like pretend like I would get into a conversation with her or whatever. Yeah, she was like mildly interesting sometimes. Anyway, I would get annoyed at her, like as if she was invading my space. Like, you shouldn't be on my family walk, and I know you're not real, and you piss me the fuck off, and I actually don't like the name Rebecca. Point blank, like I just thought it was a name that I wish I had. And I don't remember why, but Rebecca, Rachel, Lauren, to me as a kid were like pretty girl names. I didn't know a single person with those names. I just, in my head, that was like gospel. But anyway, what was my point? I had an imaginary friend and I hated her. I like couldn't get rid of her, but I also like could never really summon her to play with me. Like, she was like always there but not. It's starting to sound ill, but it wasn't. It really wasn't. But my point was, now I've remembered, me and my friends used to make imaginary boyfriends at sleepovers and stuff. And I remember sitting there with the girl that I grew up with. She'd be like, let's make imaginary boyfriends. And I'd be like, yeah. Like, it was so fun, like creating a sim or like making a Moshi Monsters account. Like, yeah, let's make imaginary boyfriends. Like, that's as far as it went for me, because I really was not interested in men. As a child especially, like, barely now, but like, God forbid, at 10, I was not feeling it, but I really didn't know, I didn't understand, so I would try and make imaginary boyfriends. And I believed that the archetype of boy that I should like was blonde, beachy, surfer guy, right? And to me, that was like the attractive boy. Again, didn't know any boys that looked like this, but that was what I thought that was the rule. And so I would try and create him, and he always looked a lot like Zack and Cody, both of them. More Zack than Cody, although I think maybe I can't remember which one is which. The skinnier one, I'll say it. Alright, we're all thinking it. That was the one that I always tried to make my imaginary boyfriend look like as a child, because I thought that was like the archetype of like, that's what you should date. I don't know why. And I always hated him too, because I don't know, I couldn't bond with him. I don't know. And it's like, I look back and I'm like, why didn't you just make yourself a fucking Sarah Baker, whatever the fuck her name was? Why didn't you make yourself a Sarah Baker? Clearly that's what you were into, bitch. I was fighting demons, and the demons was just actually myself, so What was my point? Why did I just tell you guys all that? Oh, I think actually my point was, isn't it weird how, like, I don't know if that's universal experience. I feel like it might be niche, but I know that a lot of, like, girls who are figured out that they're gay in, like, later life, who didn't just always know, have had that experience of, like, trying so hard to give a fuck about a boy and creating, like, imaginary boyfriends and just not actually fucking, like, arguing with them. But then again, I imagine Rebecca and I fought with her as well. Or Rachel, whatever the fuck I called her. I did not like either of them. It's just weird that I forced myself to, like, fall in love with this imaginary boy that I made in my head. I used to pick at school who I was gonna have a crush on. I never had a real crush on any of the boys, except this one boy, weirdly. Like, weirdly. I was obsessed with him, but in hindsight, the only reason I was obsessed with him is because, well, I did genuinely have a crush on him. I genuinely did have a crush on him, because I feel that feeling now sometimes towards people, and I'm like, that's so embarrassing. And I felt that for him. But more to the point, my best friend, who was a girl who was really pretty, was dating him. Some may say it was jealousy, and it wasn't the most heterosexual form. You know what I'm saying? But I did genuinely also have a crush on him, but I think those things fed each other. But that was an exciting period of my life. I think that was the last time I was, like, happy, was when I had a crush on that boy. And you know what I remember one time? I remember it was Halloween, and I was trick-or-treating with some of my friends, and I was like, guys, we have to go to this boy's house, because I was obsessed with him, and I wanted to see him, and obviously I knew where he lived, and I lived, like, down the street from him. Actually, I didn't live that close to him. We walked a while to get to him, but it was nothing insane, but anyway, I made my friends show up at his house, at, like, 4 p.m. on Halloween in, like, witch outfits, because that's sexy, I guess. And I remember his mum opened the door, and I was like, oh, is he here? Wish I could do that now. Honestly, what a genius fucking plan. Hey, I'm not crazy for showing up to your door. It's Halloween. Look around. Look around, read the room. It's Halloween. Everyone's doing it. It's a complete coincidence that I showed up to your house. I've knocked on 50 doors. Hey, what makes you think you're special? It's literally the first door I knocked on. I walked straight here, okay? I'm going home after this. I'm, like, thinking now, because I'm filming this before Halloween. Halloween hasn't happened yet, and I'm like, well, all I have to do is obtain the address, and then it's good. Something tells me that not everyone opens their door to trick-or-treaters. Also, I'm a grown woman. That just clicked. I can't go trick-or-treating. Oh, yes, I can. She's behind you. Yes, I can. I can. I really want to. I actually genuinely, like, jokes aside, I really want to go trick-or-treating in New York, because I have heard that it's, like, the best place to go. But I'm not gonna lie, I want to go trick-or-treating in LA just because I want to see it. Like, I have not been trick-or-treating since maybe I was, like, 10. And in the UK, trick-or-treating is so fucking shit. Like, it's so boring. If you have a street of 50 houses, 10 of them will have, like, a pumpkin outside. And my mum always told me, if they don't have a pumpkin outside, you can't go knock on their door, they don't want you there. So you would only go to houses with pumpkins. And they were, like, few and far between, especially where I grew up. And, like, in American movies, you see, like, a big residential street with all these kids walking up and down, all these lights and all these decorations, and, like, it's, like, busy and full. It literally doesn't happen in the UK. Like, you might walk past a few other people doing it, but it's just not fun, and it's fucking freezing, too. It's, like, very, 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 very cold by Halloween. And then your mum would make you put, like, a fucking puffer jacket over your cool outfit, and it's like, bitch, no one's gonna be scared of me now. I spent £9 on my fucking witch outfit, and you're telling me to put my pink puffer jacket on top of it? Do you hate me? And why? Why do you hate me? You know? That was always tough as a kid. And then I haven't been trick-or-treating since, because it's shit in the UK, and also I just guess I'm too cool for school, really. Sometimes I say things, and I try and put a reason to the things that I say, like, yeah, I don't trick-or-treat. And it's like, oh, why? And it's like, because I think I'm better than that. Like, there's nothing else. I think I've decided I'm too cool and embarrassed to do that. Because really and truly, if you want to trick-or-treat, you just can. Especially at this age, like, no, I could put on a fucking cool outfit and go trick-or-treating. I'm a girl. I could do it. I don't know if boys my age can do it. I feel like that might... Like, if they're in a group with girls, maybe, I would be uncomfortable. If a group of boys, any older than, like, 17, showed up at my door without women present on Halloween. Actually, I would be terrified. Actually, I would literally call the police, so... But I feel like I could pull it off. Also, I'm literally 5... I don't want to tell you guys how tall I am because I'm 6'4", but I'm not actually that. Again, I can't tell you that I'm not tall because that would just be a lie. I'm hugely tall, but my height, as large as it is and substantial as it is, could be red is also childlike. Complicated how that you can have both. It's just complicated, just trust me. Anyway, I feel like if I just put a mask on or like did face paint, like I would pass for a child, like in the right outfit. It's like if I put on like a full-on fucking mask, one of those plastic scary ones, who's to say that's not every other 10-year-old on the street, you know? Okay, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Pretty Lonesome. I have no idea what I talked about. I'm swinging these keys around as if I'm about to drive anywhere. Me with my fucking permit. I'm gonna wait for my friend to get back in the car and drive me home. Yes, thank you. Alright, thank you for watching this week's episode of Pretty Lonesome. I love you guys so much. I'm gonna go get dinner now. I'm gonna go get John and Vinny's, which is this place they have in LA, and it's basically just delicious pasta. And then I'm gonna get Go Greek, which is a type of frozen yogurt. No one cares what I'm gonna have for dinner, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Love you so much, and I'll see you next week. Same time, same place on Pretty Lonesome. Bye-bye. Ooh. Mwah. Love you, bye.